What do you do if you are subjected to verbal abuse? After being subjected to such abuse for 4 years by ex-policeman Maybury and his friends the McCombies, I was unwilling to retaliate by shouting back, as it could have led to trouble. Instead, I complained to P.C. Wilkinson, but he said that we have free speech in this country. I then complained to Judge Coltart in Eastbourne County Court, but he said that verbal abuse was a matter for the police. So I was left to my own resources. Unwilling to do nothing, on a website that I had created for several other reasons, on a page entitled Neighbours, I wrote, quote, "I think of McCombie as the poor henpecked zombie, and of his wife as a fat slob, the language here being less insulting than that used by them to and about me," unquote. On the 24th of July 2004, I was reproofing a shed at the bottom of my back garden, standing in front of it, which faces the McCombies' property. From his back garden, Mr. McCombie started shouting at me in an abusive and threatening manner. I ignored him for a while, but as he did not desist, I told Mr. McCombie how I had described him and his wife on the internet. He shouted out, "Clive!" Maybury's first name, and immediately afterwards 6 people, presumably led by ex-policeman Maybury, smashed their way through my side gate. The bolt was ripped from the posts and fell to the ground, top right. The key from the latch can be seen bottom left. The latch itself had bent before it forced out the key. 6 people invaded my back garden: Mr. and Mrs. Maybury, Mr. and Mrs. McCombie, a neighbour of the McCombies called Dennis, and a friend of the Mayburys. 3 of the intruders remained in the main part of the garden, but I was assaulted between the shed and the back fence by McCombie and then Maybury, and just the other side of the shed by Mrs. McCombie. I was told to get out of my house, or I would always have to watch my back in future. P.C. Francis was made the investigating officer. I had written and signed a statement before he visited me. The start of it is on screen. I had also made a plan of my property, showing the places where I had been assaulted. I gave these to P.C. Francis. He said the damage to my side gate was not good evidence of forced entry, and when I tried to explain what had happened, he said, "I noted on my website what P.C. Francis had said to me." On the 12th of August 2004, P.C. Francis arrived at 7:50 a.m, seized my 2 computers and my 2 digital cameras, and arrested me. I was handcuffed and consigned to a cell in Eastbourne Custody Centre. The charge was that I had harassed the McCombies, 2 of my attackers. I was interviewed, but subsequently had great difficulty in getting copies of the tapes, though I had a right to them as soon as was practicable. After 5 hours, P.C. Francis tried to caution me, which he was not authorised to do, as I had not admitted guilt. P.C. Francis subsequently telephoned me and asked me to change what I had said about him on my website. He said he could arrest me again. When I refused to do as he asked, he had my website closed down. After my arrest, I was given 3 witness statements against me. I discovered later that P.C. Francis had taken 4 witness statements. Presumably the 4th was by the criminal ex-policeman Maybury, who I supposed organised my arrest with P.C. Francis's help. I still have not been allowed to see the 4th witness statement. It took the Crown Prosecution Service more than 4 months to realise that they did not have a case, and it was 6 months before my property was returned. One of my digital cameras had been broken by the police, and both computers had been deliberately rendered unusable, many irreplaceable files being lost in the process. Initially, Sussex Police ignored or brushed aside my complaints about them, but eventually Detective Inspector Preddy of the so-called Professional Standards Department produced a dishonest report on some of 8 complaints that I had formerly filed on a witness statement form. An appeal to the Independent Police Complaints Commission produced another dishonest report on those complaints. 3 further complaints, rejected by Sussex Police, were sent on to the Independent Police Complaints Commission more than 8 months ago. I have yet to receive any response from them. These latest complaints were made after I had discovered dishonest and corrupt police crime reports, which I obtained by making an application under the Data Protection Act. The second of these was presumably written by P.C. Francis. Part of the badly photocopied report under my name for the events of the 24th of July is on screen. I have published the reports produced by Sussex Police and the IPCC on my website, along with my reports on their reports and much else. After being arrested, I began to look into the reasons for the lousy quality of policing in my area of Sussex, and found that it was not just a local problem. The whole of the force is in need of reform, as is the Sussex Police Authority and the Independent Police Complaints Commission, and to a lesser extent HMIC and the Home Office Management of Policing. Bye.